just excited to be where we are right now. I thought we've had some great games, some good experience, been able to get some on the road, and this is a team that I think is going to continue to get better the more we play. And we're going to get tested this weekend. Stephen F. Austin's a very good team, and after that we have Hawaii coming in, and excited just the opportunity to play. I mean, it's been a while. This is that break where we're looking forward to some games so we can stop playing against each other. But excited about where we are. But got a lot of improvement, I should say. A lot of things we need to clean up. So we're excited to get on the floor.
The men's game has become so metric dominated, and there's not just one metric, there's like 7. I know the women's game is starting to have that, but there aren't as many. Are you almost thankful you don't have so many metrics?
Yes. There's so many other things to worry about right now. But now that, the net is come into play, there are some things that we got to think about, and I'm still educating myself on all those things that matter, which you bring that up. Stephen F. is going to be a great game because they're high in the net, so we got to get some quad 2 wins. I would think it would be a quad 2 win. So we're trying to figure that out. But yes, trying to keep it as simple as we can. We're just trying to get better, and I don't want to worry about how many people I need to play and how many points I need to win by and all that good stuff. I know that's where we're going to, but right now we're just trying to stack days, stack wins.
I want to ask you about that. You just mentioned it's almost become a point of not the RPI we used to win.
Yeah.
Now it's how you do against a computer projection.
Right.
And you almost have to blow people out and keep your foot on the pedal when you have the opportunity. As a coach, as someone who got in the game for probably different reasons, is that hard to sort of stomach?
I don't love it because those are those type of games, hopefully, that you have opportunities to play other kids to help grow the game, help grow their game, to help grow the program. So if I got to worry about, beating somebody by 20 versus beating somebody by 10, it just is a different approach. And to be honest, I don't love it. I want everybody to have an experience. We don't have obviously, women's basketball has grown tremendously over the past decade, and there's a lot of money to be made overseas in the WNBA. However, the majority of the young women that are playing are not going to be rich from playing basketball. So what I hope to give them is a rich experience here at San Diego State, and I don't want to have to worry about that other stuff. I know it's part of the game, and I do think about it, but we're just trying to, have a great experience and win games.
Stacie, how does an event like this come to be? What I see it on the site is other teams playing here, but they're not playing here. How does this come to be? Why does it make sense for programs out east to be playing?
Well, I just think women's basketball is on the rise. So we were trying to put a tournament together in San Diego to bring some top-tier teams here for the community to watch and get behind. It's going to be fun. We're going to have 2 games each day for 3 games. It's not a traditional tournament with a structure and a bracket, but you're going to have Clemson, Georgia, Stephen F. Austin, Colorado State, us, and Hawaii here. And it's just going to be a great opportunity for the community to come. It's a cheap ticket to come watch some women's basketball, and we just want to, put our sport in front of the community and continue to help it grow.
Do you have a feel for how NIL impacts women's basketball entertainment improvement compared to women's basketball entertainment improvement? I just saw Players Era.
Yeah.
And that's for women's basketball programs $1 million in NIL.
Which is great, right? But that's the rich getting richer. This is really, in my opinion, the first time that it's really affected us. Before, you hope that you could outwork people and have relationships with coaches and kids, and that's the reason why you are able to bring kids to the university. But this was the first year that we lost out because University A was offering significantly more money than we could. So we got to make a change. We got to figure out how we can continue to stay competitive. We have all the resources as far as the facilities and everything else that we need to be competitive. We just got to make a jump in that area where we can still stay, on par with those mid-majors.
Could your program be in the Players Era Festival moving forward?
I would, let's talk about it. Maybe if we put our name out there, but I think that's on us to continue to win. We've turned the corner over the last couple years, but we got to build our base. We got to continue to be, beating quality opponents, and I think hopefully that's the goal. It's probably some years away, but I think now that our men are in it, the conversation about San Diego State and the success that they've had, we're going to ride those coattails as long as we can. But I think we're some years away from that.
You mentioned kind of turning the corner a little bit. The first few years were you you didn't win as much. But you had an administration that obviously backed you.
Yeah.
How much do you think, having them gone through it and seen how long it took and seen how continuity helped, how much did that help you, and how have you been able to?
I think it was huge. Coach Fisher had a little bit of a leash too, as far as when he was coming in and building this program. So they saw what it could look like, and I'm just grateful that JD gave me that time. But there's a lot of things that we were winning in other areas, and that's also a testament to who he is as an athletic director. It's not just about wins and losses; it's about the overall experience of all of our student athletes, and obviously that's important. And he cherished and valued that. But now that we're winning, we got to make sure that we continue that. That goes into the NIL, getting the right people on our staff, making sure we understand the kind of kids we need to recruit, and filling holes in the transfer portal while continuing to recruit quality freshmen. So it's a formula that we've been able to kind of get right over the last couple of years, so we're just hoping that we can continue with that.
What about this team makes it so good at 10-1? Did you expect to be 10-1 at this point, and are you reaching higher goals earlier than you thought?
I don't know what I expected, but I knew that we would be very, very motivated coming off the championship run that we did in the tournament last year. The summer was great. Our preseason prep was great, so I knew this group was very, very hungry. And, we returned a good group of young ladies and brought in some quality freshmen and some really good transfers, and it just kind of gelled early. We gelled later in the season last year. We just did it a little sooner now. There's a lot of basketball ahead of us, so I don't want to get ahead of us. I love our start, but this conference is going to be really, really tough. You guys know Mountain West is a challenging conference to play in, especially on the road, playing at altitude, and, UNLV is still the team to beat. But we're excited about what we've been able to do and being able to learn through some wins. We haven't played great basketball all the time, but we're just trying to put 40 minutes together, and we're getting closer to closer. We're getting closer and closer to that every time we play.
Do you feel like you've closed the gap on UNLV a little bit?
I don't know if we've closed the gap quite yet. When we play them, I think that'll be the measuring stick. But I do think that we've been able to be competitive in some really good games, and I think that's been helpful for us, not only just with our confidence, with just being able to, guard their guards and guard their bigs. I think defensively we've made a huge jump this year, and that's really been the difference.
How impressive have these freshmen been?
Yeah, the freshmen have been super impressive. I mean, when they first came here, I kind of already knew, they can hoop, they can play defense, and it's just about that experience and confidence. But it's, they're doing great, so they got all of that.
What about the 10-1 start? I mean, you guys are 2 points away from being 11-0, and in your mind, expectations that you'd be here ahead of schedule, what got you to this point?
Yeah, I mean, from the jump from last year, we got to the championship. We already had that mentality, already wanting to win the championship, and having that mindset already means, expecting to win games and wanting to win games. In the 5 years I've been here, it is a really nice, it doesn't compare, to where we started. So definitely a great feeling, and we do really believe about that championship. So just keeping the momentum for sure.
How Coach mentioned a focus defensively, and that's really changed and elevated. How has it happened? What, your sense of how defense has become a focus?
I think that has centered around the, kind of we over me thing, that anybody on the team can score. It's going to be someone else's night, whatever day. And it's just about, we can control our defense and our effort that we bring every game. And the points will go in. But yeah, just really believing in that she's saying, defense is how we're winning right now. And, yeah, somebody's going to score, and we'll figure it out as long as we have our defense.
Coach talked about most of the players on this team are not going to become rich people playing in the WNBA, but she
Right.
wants to provide a rich experience. How would you describe the experience that you've enjoyed here?
It's been a great experience in my 5 years. I mean, we've built a great community. They have as well. The coaches, all the coaches that have been here, not just this year, last year. The academic office, the media, our managers, all of that is included in that community that we built, and why people stay here, why I've stayed here personally, or why the staff, how they treat family, and all those little aspects really matter to us as players. And yeah, it's just been a fun environment coming to practice, or having that human understanding from Stacie as a head coach. So yeah, it's just been great.
You mentioned the championship. It's been an issue in the men's game playing at UNLV every single year.
Yeah.
But UNLV's, the men haven't won it in years and years and years, so it kind of goes away.
Right.
But it's different with the women. They win it, almost every single
Right.
year. They're in their home building. How
Yeah.
much do you sort of resent the fact that you got to go there and play there?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I like Vegas as the city, so I don't hate it. But I do think it'd be nice to play in Viejas. Imagine if we could just have the tournament here, where I played in for 5 years this gym. So like, of course I would love it. I don't know the logistics behind all of that, so I'm not sure. I don't mind playing in Vegas. I know they play there, and they're from there. Maybe it isn't an advantage, because if we played here every year, it might be. But at the end of the day, I think, like, if we would have won it last year, it wouldn't have been a factor. Or if we win it this year, it's not a factor. So, yeah, it's just an outside thing, in my opinion.
Is it as big a deal for them because they play in Cox and then they come into the Thomas and
Yeah.
Mack for the tournament, or is that?
I mean, I think more from, like, you sleep where you're sleeping in the same city. That's how I would feel the difference. Like, I'm sleeping 20 minutes from Viejas. It's so much easier transition than flying in and flying out and all those little things that go into a game day. So I'd just say from that aspect, yeah, of course it'd be nice. Like, if we had in Viejas, I'd love to do that, but it is what it is.